Everyone, this is a quick demo on the Printmaking mini project. You'll need a palette or tray for ink, a baren and a brayer, and then you'll need your foam to draw your self symbol or your pattern. And then you're going to... You guys can press in to that foam. I think I'll just do a pattern right now. You can use the end of a pencil to draw. I'm not going to use the end of the graphite. I just want to use the end of the mechanical, because it's a little bit more of a point. So if I drew some circles or something, so this would be more line and pattern. This doesn't really have anything to do with me, so it's not a very good self symbol kind of example, but for the process it's a good example. So my example up on the board has the owl, so my first name, I think I already said that, but it's Athena. And in Greek mythology, Athena is represented a lot of times by the owl for wisdom. I didn't know that until I went to Greece on a school. I took a bunch of students to Greece, and I learned that. I was like, what the heck? So I've kind of been playing around with the owl ever since then. All right, this is your palette. It's a cutting board, obviously, but we use these as palettes for printmaking. And you'll need a glob of ink. In that cabinet over there, if you guys look behind you, you can see a lot of other colors. So if you don't want to use black, that's fine. You could do yours in green or something, but you're just gonna need a spot of ink, and then we'll roll some of that on part of the board. We don't need to spread that out on the whole thing. So to prepare your paper, we want to be able to print this, and you could rotate your stamp every time you lay it down. This does not look even, does it? Will you grab me another piece of paper out of the basket? I'm going to show you how to measure it out. Some of you have already been grid, right? So measuring, does that one look better? I don't know if they do actually. They should be 9, but these are not. But anyway, we'll use it anyway for now. So they should be 9 by 12. So I'm going to make a mark at 3 divisible by 3, right? 3, 6, 9. And scoop my ruler down. 3, 6, 9. Lay my straight edge against those marks. And this will give me a place to put my stamp, my block, if you will. These can be called blocks or plates in printmaking. So then across the top, if it were 9 inches, 3 and 6. Now the reason why I want to do this twice is because I want my lines to be parallel. If you only give yourself one 3-inch or 6-inch over, just one mark, you're kind of, trying to figure out like what you should line that up. And if your paper is not parallel, it's not really smart to just make your ruler parallel with your paper. Okay, so that's how you grid. It's really crude up there, but I kind of drew it up there on the whiteboard. And now we're going to take the roller and just kind of coat the roller with some ink. You don't need the whole pile. And then just start rolling it until you start kind of making it even. So if you notice, that's not getting the entire roller. It's only getting about half. So if I stutter stop the roller, then I'm starting to spread that ink all the way around evenly. That sound you guys hear, it's kind of that sticky sound. That's what you want. You want to hear that. Newsprint is over on the shelf behind Lauren. I don't know what she's doing over there. You already know how to do this, kiddo? So then you'll roll the ink on the foam, Newsprint can help keep your table clean so you're not rolling the ink on your table. And then I like to start in the middle of my paper. And so you can press with this, but if you just move your hand and press, this thing will start to slide around a little bit because the ink is not dry, right? So you kind of want to hold on to an edge of your foam, rotate your paper, and press your edges pretty firm. Now since you're doing this, you also want to make sure you're hitting that middle, not just the edges, because then the middle will be light. And then you'll lift. The one thing in printmaking is you want to make sure that your fingertips don't get all marked up all the time, because you don't want to start having fingerprints all over. And then here we go again. I've got, you know, I use most of that ink for that print, so I can go grab some more and spread out more. So that, like I said earlier, this is your reserve. At your table, you guys can share a station. The middle table at your desks obviously is kind of like your shared space. So you guys can share. I probably don't have enough space in the room for everybody to have their own station, but you guys can share with a partner. All right, so if I wanted to keep that consistent pattern, I can, or I could think about making a quarter turn. And if you start kind of playing around with the turning every time you like lay it down, you'll end up with that kind of tile work idea. So just keep on going until you have a full sheet. And that is the mini. I call this a mini project because it doesn't take a whole lot of thought to get a design going, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to get this printed. Does that make sense? So this is like a lot faster than our painting project. So we'll have some mini projects kind of stuck in the middle of the projects that take a little bit longer, and just to get another way to get you guys familiar with some more. And some of you've already done, you've told me that you've already done some of these. Which way do I go? I think I did that one backwards, didn't I? Ooh, now I gotta figure out my pattern. So we'll do this one, mirror that one. So yeah, if something funky happens, work with it. Maybe it'll be another way to create a different pattern. You can just line them up, especially if your design kind of works that way. You can just line them all up straight in this quote-unquote reading order. So you guys can, yeah, I can just keep on going. So that first one didn't turn out as well. So it might be a good lesson to learn for me. Maybe do your first print on newsprint and then your second one start on the paper. Does that make sense? All right, these little foam, these little guys are over on the cart. I think there's plenty to cut. If you start one, oh, letters and numbers will print what? Backwards. So in order to get it correct on your foam, you gotta actually do it backwards so that they print correctly. So you guys have this amazing, some of you, maybe, if you have them with you. If you have a phone, you guys can take pictures of your designs and you can go into edit and flip your design and see it actually flipped. So if that would help you figure out how to draw it on your card flipped, then you can use your phone for that, okay? All right, any questions? All right, so all the printmaking stuff is back in the cabinet and the drawers. If you're ready, you can grab what you need.